Okay, welcome everybody. Today we're going to be talking about 10.01, which is going to be critical points of graphs. And there's two main things that you need to know. First of all, there's going to be a critical point in our graph if the derivative is going to be equal to 0. And what I want you to think about is, what does that look like? Well, if the derivative of 0 is 0, we're going to have a horizontal tangent. So that's going to mean that we are going to have a max or a min. That could be a local or absolute max, but we're going to have a maximum or a minimum. And just remember, okay, if it was a maximum, that we would still have a horizontal tangent. There would be one critical point. If it were a minimum, we would still have a horizontal tangent at that minimum, and that's a critical point. So if the derivative is 0, not only is that a critical point, it tells us it's a maximum or minimum. It's also going to be a critical point if the derivative is undefined. So this would be kind of like weird parts in our graphs where we couldn't take the derivative. Remember, this could be something that looks like a corner, right? Like in the absolute value function, or sometimes even a vertical tangent. So if the derivative is undefined, and I am going to make a side note here, but the regular function is, but original function is defined, right? So if the original function is defined, but its derivative isn't, that's a critical point. So we're going to talk about some examples about how we would find this. So it might be easy to find these on a graph, just looking for maximum and minimums and kind of weird points. And that might be easy to identify, but what we're going to have to identify a little differently is, how do I find these if I don't have a graph and if I just have an equation? So we're going to look at our first example.